Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Today at the Races. We're at Pimlico, Naomi Tucker and Keith Fusel. Don't worry, Keith. The mic is live.
All right.
Happy to be here, though. I hope everyone kind of recovered from such a stellar weekend. Keith, we'll go over it in a second because we got the lightning round with the Rainbow Pick 6. But what a gorgeous day with a big turnout it was.
It was very good. You got to like that 4th of July. The stakes went off well. We had some good prices. So we had, obviously, the Pick 6. We'll talk about that as well.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at the current track conditions. Fast main track and firm turf. We are on the turf and temperatures are already rising. A little bit muggy here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Humidity is up 81 degrees. We've got a stretch here. I looked. We're going to be in those high 80s, low 90s for a while here in the Mid-Atlantic. So we're going to have to deal with the heat.
Yeah, well, that means that we'll see plenty of horses being washed down shortly before the race, making sure that they're all cool and getting their baths afterwards as well, making sure that all the horses are able to deal with these warmer temperatures and muggy environment here. But Keith and I are going to try and find you some winners. 8 race card. Let's go, right? No Rainbow Pick 6 carryover. It's been a long time coming. A fair few lucky people might just got a big score, that $31,000 ticket, and we'll get to that in just a second. But let's get started here with the first race on the card. As usual, we'll kickstart the early pick 4 sequence, one of the lowest takeouts in the biz. I sound like a broken record, but you need to know it's 12% takeout. Also, we start the super high 5 in this race with a slight bit of a carryover there. $3,138 in the pot. Starts also in race number 1. We kickstart things off with an optional claimer starter allowance. 6 furlong sprinting distance here. And let's straight away go to Mr. Walsh. He's your top selection in here, Keith. I have him in my exacta. We'll have a look at his race at Keenan. So not his last race where he nearly won, but the race that he didn't broke as sharply, but still managed to come out on top.
Absolutely. We've seen a couple of these horses. You see the break there that afternoon. Broke about a step and a half slow. The 4-horse that I think Dale had won a couple of weeks ago come in off of a maiden, one of those maiden 20s down in Kentucky and fared okay. So this guy, Mr. Walsh, off of a drop. That was, I think it was reported first. That would have been first gelding this particular race, but he survived that bad break. Went around the field, draws off, comes back to just miss by a head. His most recent effort, strong, a jump up 11 points in the buyer figures, up from a 65 to a 72. 4 next out winners out of that race. Horses winning all over the place, running big numbers. Comes out of a strong key race. Has enough speed to lay close in here.
I agree there, and hence I use him in my exact. And it seems like that Kentucky form really does hold up well whenever they come down here from those levels. I ended up using number 5, Cash Comes First, on top. He was dead heated for second, but it was an honest performance at Delaware. He tried, not Cash Comes First. I have him on the knee. I was just thinking to myself, no, I think I have him on the knee, but Day Gas for Charles Frock. He's back on the main track. I think that's his preferred condition after a turf try last time out. Ran back-to-back crackers at this level earlier at Pimlico when trying to take them all the way. 3 starts back, sat close before that. Last time out, had a wide draw, got hung wide. He was still away well, but it just didn't work out for him. So I think, he's got a middle draw here. He has some speed. I think if he just gets away well, he can be a lot more dominant than what we saw in his last couple.
I mean, let's face it, he's got a pretty good turn of foot. I thought he was going to run great on the sloppy sealed track based on his breeding 2 races back. Came away a little bit slowly, was hung out wide. You can toss that. The turf try wasn't off. He's getting back to the fast track. He's performed well. It's going to be just go, I think, for Akasi. He's going to try to outrun the rest of them off their feet. Mr. Walsh better break cleanly. If he does, I think he can draft up into a stalking position and get on by here. First off the claim we should note here for Mr. Walsh.
Yeah, and also interesting, of course, you mentioned JD Acosta on Day Gas. Well, what is JD good at? And that is firing runners from the gate. So I think it really suits Day Gas this time around. But you're right, he is going to have a tough customer in the rail horse, Mr. Walsh, who comes in here just in terrific form. And also first starter at the Pimlico meet thus far for trainer Penny Pierce, who's based at Parks. Normally, as we'll get going here with race number 2, another optional claim of starter allowance. This time we're sprinting on the gorgeous turf track. Always looking forward to those turf dashes here. And I thought this was an interesting race. It was a spread race for me. I did end up using the horse that you had on top in my exacta, but of course, as we've known from, we've come accustomed to. You have an early pick 4 ticket that might just gather some money here
I
today?
definitely think there's value all the way through this racing card. Maybe not a ton in the first race, but moving forward, I like it. And in the first race, go back. Don't even leave Dale's horse out. Getting a lot of money. That horse will float up from this 9 to 5. Let's look at race 2 and your early pick 4. I'll get you started with the 3 and the 5. A girl named Jack, Golden Can. These two both met on May the 2nd with a girl named Jack getting the better. Might get a little better price though today with a girl named Jack. Spread race 3, 1, 2, 3, and 7. Probably should have taken the all button if you can't afford it. These are 2-year-old fillies going 5/8, the maiden variety, maiden special weight. Race 4, another spread, 2, 3, 5, and 12. Price play in there. The 2 keep your skates on. Race 5, wrap it up with 2 horses, the 3 and the 8. I'm against the favorite in here. Nova Boy 8 to 5 on the morning line. Might come down to leaving a little bit further off of that. Pascal Chant and the 3 Glengar, my top 2 choices in there. $32 for that early pick 4 ticket. I think it's a ticket. If you want to spend a little bit more, grab a friend, go right ahead. I think you're going to get a little bit of value here.
I agree with you in race 3, 2-year-old fillies. You might as well just take the all button because I think they've all got a chance of being able to get their nose in front. But let's talk about race number 2 first. As I mentioned, we're sprinting on the gorgeous grass that you see behind us here at Pimlico. Let's talk about a girl named Jack, who I have in my exacta. We basically just kind of flipped our selections around here. Let's look back at that race that she was able to best Golden Can, who we just see here there on the rail. She was the fastest away from all of them, but the girl named Jack, that kind of steady progression and that turf close, she was able to out-kick them all.
Yeah, Golden Can had it there on the front end, had it all her way, both coming off freshening. This is a girl named Jack's turf debut. They tried on the go back to get her on the turf a few times. It's had a beautiful trip, saving ground, eased out, and just a steady, straight rally to go by and go clear. Really didn't want any parts, really. The mile and the 16th, that was a little too far. Monmouth turf course, a little bit quirky. Didn't have a comfortable trip, really, between horses. I think there's enough speed in here. This horse will just draft again, save ground, angle out, and move on from there.
I agree with that, but I did end up just giving Golden Can the slight no. I think she improved a little bit since that defeat against a girl named Jack, and she was dueling for the lead last time out. I think there's some speed on her inside, but she showed in that on that last occasion at this level that she's able to deal with it.
Yep.
So even if she does clear and get it her own way, which would be ideal for her, I'm not sure that's going to happen. But she showed that she's, I think, matured a little bit in terms of her running style. So I just took her, but I think they're very close, the two of these, and then both of us use the 4 and the 8 underneath. Let's talk quickly about the number 4 here, Lucre for Justin Nixon. Now I know Justin Nixon, has been training at Timonium. He's absolutely loved it there. He keeps saying, all my horses are running terrifically well since I've been training at Timonium. So, I mean, you got to try and see if you might want to include Lucre on your ticket. She's actually an interesting breeding. She's a fool to draft it. He was the grade 3 Mahap El Shama sprint winner in Dubai. And he used to come from the clouds. Now, she has a similar running style. She likes to kind of take back and then come with a run. I'm taking a grass. She's taking a chance here on the grass.
Yeah.
I mean, pedigree-wise, I don't really think it suits her that much. But if Justin Nixon thinks it might work, then who are we to
you got to respect
right?
his moves because he's been making a lot of really good moves of like the last couple of years here in Maryland. And Lucre, breeding, so. She is a stone cold one-run sprinter, it looks like to me, but she's going to have plenty of flow up top with Golden Can, Woodbine Way, some speed in there, maybe even Seifel will send. Shakum, I'm sure they were hoping stayed into the race, but she likes to rally guns blazing. You go on the bottom side there, the 8 horse here for Claudio. The mare was okay, topped at a 94 on the turf, state bred stakes placed. Out in California, 2 siblings, they tried the turf. Not a whole lot of luck, but this horse has improved clearly off the claim, might transfer to the turf course.
I'm taking a chance with her. I agree with you that the siblings haven't done much on the turf yet, so maybe Guns Blazing is the one to show that the turf still, it still runs in the family. She's actually a half sister to 13 Squared, who placed in a grade 1 Santa Anita Oaks. So bad red at all there for trainer Claudio Gonzalez. As we'll move on to the 2-year-old event for the fillies in race number 3, which also is the start of the Rainbow Pick 6. Now, I know we don't have a carryover, but we still have a really good sequence coming up. I think there's definitely a couple of price plays that might work out here. I think this is a good sequence and definitely one that, as a handicapper, gives you plenty to use here. So let's hope we'll point you in the right direction in this maiden special weight for the two-year-old fillies here. 5 furlongs the distance. I think a couple of notable scratches. Queen Cadence is out. The number 6 White Knuckle Flyer is out. I ended up using Determined Truth on top here. Flatter 11% winners with his first 2-year-old, decent enough, is higher than sire average. Damn one on debut, and she was a stakes winner going 2 turns. 1, 1, and 2 place out of 5 siblings first time out. So plenty of precocity there, and I like that 48 and 2 breeze from the gate on the 18th of June. So just kind of taking a chance here with a filly that seems to be working well, and they paid enough for her too.
So I have to perfect alibi, grade 1 winner at 2. I have to a 12-time winner, a 10-time winner. Lots of wins in this family. Wouldn't be a surprise first time out coming off of a bullet work. I go to the outside with Dale Capuano with the 7 Hicktown. Kind of where I grew up, Hicktown.
Oh, is it now?
Well, it's not. Well, out in the sticks, out in the country, but that's okay. So it's a little hunch play for me. But I've got a stat. It's not a huge sample, but it's good enough. Dale Capuano, last 5 years on the dirt, 4 for 10, 8 for 10 in the money. 2-year-old maiden special weight. First-time starters, ROI 40. So it's just saying, you'd think he'd have a lot more starters. I think he's got like 25 overall. So he picks and chooses his spots. He's not going to put a horse in over its head, right? Let's think a little bit. He had 2 in here. White Knuckle Flyer scratch. I like that one as well. It was by Uncle Lena. We'll wait another day for that one. But Hicktown is okay. Half to a graded stakes place runner. I think working right along with that other Uncle Lena, the works look good to me. You got Ruiz. Take a shot here. Clean break from the outside for Hicktown.
I agree with you there. Now, interesting question here, though, that I wanted to ask you, because looking at the works, indeed, White Knuckle Flyer, Hicktown look to have been partnered up for the majority of the time. However, White Knuckle Flyer has one extra work, the 4th of July, when Hicktown does, when White Knuckle Flyer doesn't. Does that mean Hicktown needed the screws tightened a little bit more than White Knuckle Flyer? Like, I was just trying to read into that a little bit.
It's a $1 million question, I guess. I'm not going to worry about it. I see 5/8, 102.2 breezing over this racetrack. That's good enough for me. That's a solid work.
I agree with you there. Hannah's Red Ruby. I know you got 81 Morning Line. It's all going to change because you do have 2 scratches in here for Michael Sterling. But First time start for that bond. Bad break. Still finished fourth. That was 50 days ago. 56 time form, which really isn't that high at all. I mean, didn't even get a buyer. But the filly that finished third, so one place up from her, came back to win a maiden 50 claimer at Gulfstream Park. 48 buyer main track next time. I don't know if a 48 is really good enough to win, but the form was franked, and she has experience.
Absolutely. Experience could be the key. And this is a trainer who, doesn't run a slew of horses, but I've noticed him year in and year out with the 2-year-olds. He's done okay, especially up at Charlestown. So I would respect Hannah's Red Ruby. Certainly in here, had an excuse, awkward start, good comment there, and out of a key race. So I'm going to throw that one definitely into the mix. The 3, Determined Truth, I'll use, and the 1, Sensen by Arrogate. Arrogate's only had a couple runners so far, right? 2 of them both ran third. The bottom side, you got Baffert all over this with Arrogate pop over. Was good. Big debut, then went off by 7, did the mare. So there's some precocity there, I believe, for the 1, Sensen.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. Really looking forward to seeing what, I haven't seen an Arrogate 2-year-old yet. So this will probably be my first one I lay eyes on. Of course, late Arrogate, Dubai World Cup winner, Breeders' Cup Classic winner, Travis Victor. Gorgeous specimen, unfortunately not with us anymore. We'll see what Sensen's going to do from the rail, because it's not ideal as a first to be drawn on the rail. You're going to have to show your hand straight away, because the field might come over on you. But the field's not as big as we might have expected. Only 5 horses lining up in this. As we'll move along to race number 4, we're also on the turf there. 5 furlongs sprinting, and the start of the late pick 5. And as we don't have a Rainbow Pick 6 carryover, we don't have a late pick 5 carryover, but I decided that I'd try my hand again at the late pick 5 sequence. I'm just going to change it up here. I think it's always good to keep your strategies flexible when it comes to your tickets. You can see I didn't find a single. I didn't trust any horse enough today to put all my eggs in one basket, so I went 3 deep in this. 5, 10, and the 12 there. The 12 is my top selection in that spot. Green Eyes for Jerry Robb, Xavier Perez. Should get a trip perfectly behind the leaders here. I think imagining 10% winners with his turf sprinters, they tend to do better on the wet dirt. But the Grand Dame was a turf sprint. She won stakes over it and kept on going for quite a long while. So if Jerry Robb thinks there might be a turf angle there, I'm going to try and take it. The figures hold up on the main track. Race number 5, I go too deep here. Unfortunately, the number 6 was out 50. I thought he was going to give the number 5 Nova Boy a run for his money. Nova Boy, the dropper for Claudio Gonzalez. Do we trust him? Not entirely, and that's why I used Glengar underneath. He takes class relief after a starter allowance and now in for nickel. This is a very, very tough runner. Race number 6, I go too deep again there using the 5 and the 12. The 12 is my price play there. We're going Mountain 16 on the turf, drawn towards the outside. Cranston's Network has not done anything wrong in his entire life yet. 2 starts, 2 seconds. He's unexposed. He is now going 2 turns for the first time. He's been sprinting before, but when I saw him, one of my notes was that he's huge, he's lengthy, a big unit. I think he can really suit these 2 turns here. So I'm taking him. Kevin Gomez aboard. Linda Albert trains, and Dam won first out on the all-weather. We know all-weather transferred pretty well to the turf. So that's my price play there. Does have to beat the number 5 Prince of Caps, who comes down from New York for training Michelle Nevin. And then in race 7, I go 3 deep using the 3, the 5, and the 6. And then in race 8, I hopefully finish off strong here. Starter allowance, a mile 16, 2 turns, the 4 and the 6. The 4, Ink, has really done nothing wrong. That last start was visually very, very impressive. Won by 11 lengths. We have a video of that. We'll see that later. But Contraflow on the outside. Broke his maiden going long on Tampa Bay. First off the claim for McGee, who immediately gets him back to his preferred surface, because he ran on the turf sprinting last time, and distance. I think this is a strong move there on the outside. $36 flat.
I think I blew the morning line on Contraflow. I think he's going to be lower than the 7.
I was looking at you. I could tell you wanted to mention that he wasn't going to be as short there. So I get going here with race number 4, claiming 16 to 12.5 non-winners at 2 lifetime for fillies and mares, 3-year-old and up. And let's start with your top selection, who I didn't use at all, which I always like. 15 to 1 morning line on Keep Your Skates Up. For pretty much man of the moment, Del Capuano, always in a hurry in the concern stakes, big upset. can never really, never really take a Del Capano runner for granted. And he enjoys it as well when we don't pick his horses and then he comes in at a big price. So I'd say you're going against that.
He had that grin in the winner's circle, didn't he? Were they always in a hurry? I hope he went to the window, got that price.
He was having a day.
I glazed over that one. I'm still kicking myself on that one. But yeah, Dale, last 30 days at Pimlico, he's 6 for 19 with an ROI of 264. That's a 32% rate. So pretty strong. I'm taking a little flyer because I think there's plenty of speed. I mean, they are going to be whistling out front, and I think it's going to be contested. I'm looking for somebody to lurk, to maybe sit inside and find that trip to move up. The 2 and the 3, believe it or not, price plays in here for me to use. 15 to 1 morning line, maybe we won't get that. We tried with Girolamo a couple weeks ago, didn't we, Naomi, with the horse that was first-time turf. Girolamos are like 13%. Bottom side really caught my eye. I remember this mare. An Officer and a Lady. 8 for 10 in the money on the grass. 2 wins. I think was a stakes winner. Ran around a 90 sprinting. This is turf, on turf, real turf on the bottom side. Why not? I think just trying to revive this girl, just kind of sit the trip off the speed. She's a closing sprinter. She's gonna get it up front. So let's see if she can follow through and handle this turf course. And if you go back on the lone turf work, I see. A lot of horses work that day around the dogs, and I don't put a ton into works, but compared it to like a pretty good turf sprinter, a horse that did win sprinting on the turf, so dialed in. This was a second faster. This work for Keep Your Skates On. So
great pickup.
We're reaching a little bit, but I think I got to try to get a closer home in here.
Why not? I like it. I end up using number 12, Green Eyes on top. Jerry Robb and the X-Men. They've been flying together. I think she's also liable to get a perfect trip behind the leader. She's shown that she can stalk. Imagining, as I just highlighted, 10% was his turf sprinters, so they can win. I think they're better on the off-going, but we do know sometimes that off-going, it kind of translates a little bit to horses just having a bit more of a higher knee action and getting over it better, which also means that can be suitable on the turf. Grandam was a turf sprinter, so there's something on the bottom side. We know Jerry Robb is not afraid to place his horses on the turf when he thinks that it suits them. So I'm going to take that shot there. And dirt to turf, the Robb stable is 21% winner. So I'm going with Green Eyes on top here. Yeah,
he's won a little bit more recently over the last couple years on the turf than prior. He was predominantly did almost all of his best work with the dirt runners, but and they like to win races in bunches. Jerry Robb, he's been doing it consistently. Yeah, I think this one's going to be just fine. She'll be part of that flow. Maybe take the measure outside because Fastlani is going to go right to the front. Going to try to go right to the front. Yep.
Yeah, no, I use Fastlani underneath. She's definitely going to try and be the speed of the speed here. First time Lasix aboard as well. And I think she's shown plenty of improvement in her last start, which was a new barn and after a winter break. So she can continue to progress. I use her. We also use the number 10, Matunik. You didn't get her for the Gonzalez stable. If she can keep moving up like she's done in her last couple, I think she's going to be tough. She nearly stole it on the front, 2 starts back on the turf.
Yeah, last time recovered and got it done. Good. That was a good effort, but had everything her own way on the turf 2 races back. There's going to be more flow. I'll see. I think she might be a little bit better on the dirt. And I'm going to throw the 3 in. Bob Gamber at a big price. Has a couple big numbers on the go back on the turf, and one of them was on a yielding turf course. Yeah, we got some rain in this area. I don't know how much it really affected this turf course. Obviously, we stayed on, which is a good thing, but she was hung out wide in return. Made a little bit of a move and flattened out. I think, once again, can get that stalking trip from the inside.
She'll have to return to her form, though.
No doubt.
She's, she hasn't shown it in a while, but it's there. I agree with you. Don't they say form is temporary and class is permanent? So let's hope that's the case.
If you say so.
Let's hope that's the case. With 15 to 1 shot, the number 3, Mary Maid, as we'll take a quick break and be right back.
And they're off. Second in the 2-pap. Round off first inside. Last of the 12 as they roll into the backstretch.
Welcome back to Pimlico Racecourse morning show here, trying to pick you some winners for the day ahead. 8 race card. We're on race number 5, nickel claimers. And Keith, I guess I fell for the Claudio Gonzalez dropper in here, the number 5 Nova Boy. I guess, yes, it's a little bit suspicious. Was claimed for 12 and a half, now in for the 5 tag, 41 days, sort of a Claudio special. 3 works. The figures are there, but is he doing as well? Because why is he in here for that tag?
We talked about this, and when you're dealing with owners that have a lot of horses, they can play these games a little bit. That's what it is. It's a mind game, you think. I mean, 3 works since kind of gaudy-ish numbers compared to the rest of the field. But he's a deeper closer, and that's always makes me that's my first thing. Like, you know, a deeper closer. If he's just not quite right, he's going to ramp it up in time. If he beats me, he beats me. So I'm not gonna fall for Nova Boy. I'm gonna go with the 8 to the outside. Pascal Chant. Pascal Chant's a tactical horse. Turf back to dirt. She's been a phenomenal runner. Angle, I should say, for Dale Capuano runners. And Glengar. Glengar, he's a guy back down to the nickel, back to where he was claimed from. We know his deal. He's a kind of a bad actor. I think sometimes he just wears on whoever's around him. So yeah, but he's a horse on the go back. Can definitely sprint. Has run consistent numbers. He stayed pretty consistent all the way throughout. So I think even with the scratch of 50, you're going to see Glengar put into the race. Would not surprise me. I'm going to keep around the 3 and the 8 in here.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I like Pascal Champ, but I do wonder if he's better on the off-going. Got a bit of an awkward action. You see that his best numbers seems to have come on a sloppy surface, or at least a little bit of cut in the ground here. So do wonder how effective he is on a fast surface. But again, Dale Capuano, not to be underestimated. But yeah, I like Glengar's chances here. I mean, you pick your stick. As I was looking back at this race, I'm like, I fell for this Nova Boy, and I'm not so sure anymore. You pick your stick, so he's my top pick. But Glengar, I think, and now with 50 being out, he's going to indeed be put into it. Now, he's never won over this distance, the 6 furlongs, but he's won plenty of times over 6.5, so I don't think that should be a problem. Now, if we were talking about 5 furlongs, I would have been worried. I think that's on the sharp side for him. But he's a tough customer, and he turns up if he has a good day. But I'm a fan of him despite some of his antics. As we'll keep going here, going through the races. Race number 6, mile and 16 on the turf course for the maiden claimers. Trying to break that maiden. 25 to 20 is the pricing here. And I have a price play on top, which is the number 12. I see that you have a slight bit of interest in the outside horse as well. Cranston's Network. He's stretching out for the first time, has sprinted throughout his career, only 2 starts, so unexposed in comparison to some of these. I don't think he's done anything wrong.
Nope.
Trained, is now first off the claim for trainer Linda Albert. I like him going around the 2 turns because last time I saw him, I thought he was quite big, quite lengthy, a bit faster than his frame would suggest. So I'm thinking, why not take the chance? The dam ran very well on the all-weather. She won on it the first time out. We know all-weather is frequently used as a nice prep to get back to turf action in Europe as well. So that might just translate. And he's got speed as well.
Yeah, Linda Albert's due for a win, right? I mean, hitting the board with these runners, I'm always rooting for Linda Albert. She's been around a while and has always done a good job. And Cranston's Network, as you talked about it, you look at him, and he's just a big horse. I think he's going to be able to get out, maybe clear this field, relax a little bit. He's been dead game in his races, too, when he's been hooked. He's dug in. Last time came back and just, got the play. So Orbs, they're okay on the turf for me. I've seen quite a few of them handle it all right. So I'm just not sold on this 2-1 favorite Prince of Caps, and he might even be lower when it's all said and done, just kind of flattening out up in New York. Okay, again, if he beats me, he beats me. I look at the 6-2. Tip your hat to that here for Robbie Bales. Robbie Bales having himself a really good meet right now. Yeah. Even talked to Dave Rodman a little bit about this horse earlier this morning. So Second Dam, again, you talked about Second Dam earlier on a horse, maybe the Jerry Robb. You got to go back and dig a little bit, but the turf is definitely there. Maybe he might be a little bit better going a little shorter on the turf, but encouraging tries of late going long on the main track. I think it's a stayer definitely against this group.
Well, I agree with you that he's really sort of in form, whereas perhaps Prince of Caps is coming here trying to find a softer field because it's not working out for him in New York. I mean, he's 0 from 10, did finish second twice, but really trying to find himself an easier group from that maiden claiming 50, maiden claiming 40, now down to the maiden 25. But it is telling that Michelle Nevin is sending over her first runner of the extended Pimlico meet to this field, so she thinks it's worth it. And we have very live jockey in Charlie Marquez, who still leads the jockeys here. He's been taking every single opportunity, so not to be sat on him either. And let's talk quickly about Stroll On By. I thought his 2 turf efforts were pretty strong. One closing in with a kick that kind of trumps this field. But I do want, there were 2 strong turf efforts. He's run on the turf 4 times before. You never really know what you're going to get with him, though, because I look back at that last race, and he kind of, it says the running line as well, tied into the first turn. Yes and no. He had horses kind of come in on him, but it didn't take his momentum away. So I'm not thinking it's too big of an excuse for just flattening out, really.
Okay. Yeah, no, agreed. And is he a little bit better sprinting? Big effort in debut. We've got a couple of these horses now. I mean, you see them just kind of range up, and they just don't want to go by. And it kind of looks like maybe strolling by, and it looks like the favorite. So you and I are kind of thinking along the same lines, horses that are going to be up on the lead. And maybe they just dig in. The other ones will come up to them and just kind of, do their herd animal thing, just not go past. So I'll key around the 2 horses I think that are going to get the jump on these closers.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping for my price play in here, my 5-1 shot. Let's hope I'll get that value. Race number 7, optional claimer there, 6 furlong the distance, and this is our feature of the day. 2 other than conditional race. It's competitive. This is competitive. Now, Stroll, I thought for a second Stroll smoking was, but it's Jeopardy James who is out, but nonetheless, still a competitive field in here. But you go with a horse that I ended up including because Jeopardy James was out, and that is Air Token. Now, I know he can be the upset. In that concern stakes, I don't think anyone saw him best in Fragatelli that day, and he did. That was 7 furlongs. But let's go to the number 6 Stroll smoking, because we have a video of a truly tenacious effort on the front there. You can see him right there, the grey on the inside, getting plenty of pressure from Noble Commander, but he held himself well. He dug in and he went for it.
Absolutely. Took the pressure. Riding, with this better inside part of the racetrack's been pretty good, multiple days at this meet, and took the pressure, shakes clear and digs in. I mean, this was really, really strong. It's not like they were walking up front. 23 flat, that's a good opening quarter. 46 picked it up and just dug in late 10-3. He can pair those numbers up too. He can run mid-80s consistently. He's going to have to deal with Ziggy. He's going to have to deal with Noble Commander again, but he'll fight you tooth and nail. I just think there's going to be somebody come over the top late. It's going to be Air Token. Was against it last time. Back out now to 6 furlongs. He can just take back. Just monitor the speeds up front. He's going to be several lengths back mid-turn. I think you're going to see a big finish from Air Token today at a square price. This was a very difficult race to put a morning line on as well.
I can imagine. I looked at this race about, a bit longer than I normally would, just trying to figure out who might have the edge, because they're all very evenly matched here. I went with Youngest of 5 on based on what you were saying with Air Token, Spider Speed. I think Youngest of 5 can do something similar. He came with a rally on the rate Lille, on the rail late. My tongue twister here for the day. Got it out of the way. Gaining with every stride. And I like the fact that he comes in here with a 35-1 hit out on the 3rd of July for a trainer, Hugh McMahon, that normally doesn't tend to do that. I think they're trying to put some speed in him here, and I think it sets up for him with the flow. I think they're going to go forward, and Youngest of 5 might just be a little bit more in the midst of things. And interesting, I was looking at that race. You were saying 23 and change. Yes, not that fast. But Time from US coded the first 3 sections of that race as being blue, meaning a slower than average, which I thought was really interesting because visually it wasn't that slow. I don't think 23 and change for the 6 furlong is slow because we're so close to the beam. So I think it's average. If I were to say, I probably is average, and Youngest of 5 was really trying to run into it. Perhaps the flow today is going to be above average, and that works into the Youngest of 5's hand, and maybe also Air Token.
Yeah, and look where he's positioned. You've got Air Token who doesn't quite have the speed that he has early. Dead speed to the inside of him, Noble Commander. Ziggy Monstrol smoking. They're going. So Sheldon, he'll just probably draft his way up into position probably by mid-turn. I think he'll be a couple lengths out of it and ready to pounce from there. So the setup, we always want to sit there and visualize. That's what I do because I'm calling the charts. I think he's going to get a very good setup today. Will he follow through over the top? Yeah, it's a valued notion. It's a horse. He's just coming off off the turf stakes race, and he's been red hot, 3 of 4, and I lined him at 10-1. Now, granted, he's going to be lower than that because of the scratches, but still, that shows you how tough of a race
this very race competitive. Good feature race here, race number 7. Nightcap is race number 8. Starter allowance optional claimer Mowen 16 2 turns, and let's look at the video we have here on the number 4 Ink, who broke his maiden in quite convincing fashion there. You can see him there. He joined the leader early. He was on the rail. He got some pressure, shook the field off, and just ran on like it was a paid workout. And then later on, Angel Cruz, I think, realized that maybe he didn't need to ride as hard as he was going here. And then he stops kind of riding him late and just, hands and heels here, geared down, 11 lengths clear. Can he back that up?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a middle move into him. You saw that third quarter. He really picked it up and just threw the knockout punch and opened up from there. So he's definitely improved on the claim. He's a factor. He's not as fast to me as Contraflow early.
Yeah.
So I think he'll have to get that stalking position like he did first off the claim. I'll take a shot with Contraflow first off the claim. Confident move up in class. Speed, plenty of speed. This guy's going to go to the front. Broke the maiden special way to Tampa going long. So I'm hoping off the claim. Kieran, he's done this move before. We've seen it.
Oh,
He's
yes.
been successful. So I'm going to take a shot with Contraflow wire to wire. Market cap, yeah, blinkers go on. Kind of an interesting move trying to figure this guy out. Will he finish? And the one Sebastian, he runs hard every time.
He
hasn't
does,
shown
he
whatever
does.
surface. He can hang around.
He tries his hardest. Yeah, market cap is a bit of like the unknown to me. The blinkers go on. He drops in class from that open company allowance he was at. Didn't get an easy race there. A mile and an eighth. He was hung out as far as you can basically be hung out, 6 wide there. Sharpen up with the blinks, and a drop to level might prove useful. I think we're all just trying to figure out where to place him at this point. But I love the number 6 on the outside, Contraflow, for the aforementioned reasons. As we'll finish up the handicapping part, and we'll talk some interesting points here. Lightning round coming your way. Yeah, it paid $31,000 to the lucky ticket holders of that mandatory Rainbow Pick 6 payout. We have, I think, 5.1 million of new money wagered into the pool. That was already 1.4 going into this. Quite the day on Sunday. What were some of the highlights for you?
I mean, the biggest highlight was our boy John Scheinman up in the press box. Took down, he had one of the tickets for $31,000. So watching that unfold, and he was calm as a cucumber all the way through, which he can usually get a little animated, a little excited. He was calm and very businesslike and got it done. We're still waiting for what's going to arrive in the press box. So he promised.
Hello, champagne.
Well,
maybe?
some really good things. So we'll see. We're all making up our list here for Santa Shine.
You've got to spoil the beans now. Did you look at his ticket structure? Was it a big ticket, or how was it efficiently?
I did not. I did not. We just rode along. You probably bet a couple $100 into it.
Right. I mean, you had to with some of those big priced horses coming in.
He was red hot all day. He was red hot all day. So I got to give it to our man Scheinman.
I would have loved to been on board. Congratulations to him. As we'll go to the current jockey standings, as Charlie Marquez is continuing to thrive as a journeyman, making full use of all the opportunities coming his way and banking in on them in the fashion that you'd expect him. I remember speaking with him, it probably was about a week ago, just talking about how he went up to New York and perhaps didn't get the Apprentice Eclipse Award because he made the move up to New York and then got injured and wasn't there for that long. But he confided in me saying that he learned so much from the incredible depth of that jockey colony here. Now, we got a good jockey colony here too.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're riding with, future Hall of Famers, the Irad Ortiz, the Ortiz brothers in general, he was saying you learn about race tactics, about spotting where the gaps might open, and gosh, it's paid off for sure.
Yeah, and I think you made the right move. You come back. You come back to where go where you can win. I talk about, the kids, my son's a college athlete, talking about kids wanting to go to college and play. Go where you can play. Go where you can be successful. Sometimes you just bang your head against the wall, and he did the right thing. But we see it. You kind of get big eyes, and you kind of want to make that jump. Not saying you don't have the talent, but breaking into circuits like that, it's very, very difficult. So he's right here at a good spot right now, and he's showing he's improving every day with every ride, and I think he's going to be around for a while.
I agree with you there. So we'll go to our final point here, a rematch between 5 times stakes winner Hello Beautiful and the undefeated Chubwagon. We saw them there in the Shine Again stakes here, and gosh, that was quite the race. I mean, Hello Beautiful ran too good to lose. They're going to come up against each other in the Dashing Beauty 100 Grand Stakes event at Delaware tomorrow.
I've got to look at this race on paper. Have you looked at it yet?
I haven't properly yet.
Okay,
No, I need to go and handicap this out and out. But are we going to side with any of these two?
I mean,
You have to,
look
right?
look at that. Yeah, hello, beautiful. That was off the layoff as well. Just dead game. And that was what we talked about, a little race riding into the turn. She was really good that day. Hello, beautiful. Chub Wagon just better. And, yeah, I can't wait to watch that one.
I mean, evenly matched. Both of them ran their absolute hearts out. That's the kind of horse race that we're here for, right? So I'm looking forward to the race tomorrow, and I'll definitely be watching. And I'll probably just dive into the PPs just after we finish to see if I can figure things out there.
right.
But it'll be a thrilling rematch, that's for sure. As we'll wrap things up here on the morning show. Naomi Tucker, Keith Fusel, wishing you the best of luck here. 8 race card coming your way, and Dave Rutman up next.
All righty, good luck.